So here's a fun little fact for you. Did you know that in Georgia, when you fall behind a certain amount on your child support obligation, they decide to suspend your driver's license? Yay! You thought you were struggling before. Let's just go ahead and take away your valid driver's license, make it more difficult for you to commute, get to work, find a job, whatever you got going on. We're just going to go ahead and snag that away. All right, what's going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time, super happy to have you. I am actually going to be chatting just a little bit about something that I have been dealing with, and I know that probably thousands of other fathers have been dealing with. And you know, when I'm out in the streets, right, or you know, dealing with people in real life and this comes up, it kind of astounds me because nobody knows about this. And so this is just my call for people to know what is going on, because I think it's a law or a rule that should be done away with. And yeah, I just want to talk about it a little bit. Barely have time to make this because I've got some work to do, and I'm actually about to go pick up my daughter for my weekend visitation. So yeah, I've got a daughter, and just in case, you know, you didn't fully understand what was kind of going on, right? You know, when there's a mom and a dad and they split up and there's a divorce or something happens and they decide to go through the courts, well, usually one of them is court ordered to pay child support, which is understandable. You know, that other parent who is with the child, most of the time, they need that extra help to support the child. It all makes perfect sense fundamentally. But as someone who has been a part of this system now for going on 8 years, I am dealing with perhaps my third or fourth notice from the state of Georgia saying their intent to suspend my driver's license, right? Because I am not meeting the requirements of my child support obligation. And I just want to ask why? Why would you suspend somebody's driver's license as a consequence for not paying a certain amount of money? I think it's fascinating. Now, in a perfect situation, theoretically, even if the license was suspended or got suspended, hopefully that other party could work with you or make adjustments in the transportation to accommodate you still seeing your child. However, some of us aren't that lucky because some people's co-parents don't necessarily value them in their time with their child. So they're not going to go out of their way to make accommodations for someone who has a suspended driver's license, especially when they're the party that should be receiving those funds, right? And so then you have a situation in where there actually is a direct correlation between your visitation and your child support, which is the opposite of what they tell you in court when you go through this process. Because when you go through this process, they tell you there's no correlation between your child support and your visitation. You know, theoretically, if something happens, you fall behind a little bit, that doesn't interrupt your visitation schedule. Well, when you suspend somebody's driver's license, how are they going to pick up the child? You can drop a comment below. And I get it. In theory, there's lots of different options. Have a friend, a family member, you know, I could take the bus. I got it. I could walk. But to suspend somebody's driver's license has me kind of messed up. I mean, I just opened this notice this morning, notice of intent to deny or suspend. It doesn't tell you when that could be effective. I'm about to go pick up my daughter and have her for 3 days. So what if in theory in 2 days in the system, it suddenly says it's suspended. I'm driving around. I get pulled over. And I mean, this is a worst case scenario, but theoretically they could take me to jail. And then what would happen with my child in the car, right? It's just not a pretty situation. So yeah, have been wanting to talk about this for a while. If y'all are asking me, Matthew, does that stress you out a little bit? Yeah, it does a little bit. And actually, I do a pretty good job of negating a lot of my financial stress so that I can continue to function and do what I need to do. Because, you know, this stuff cripples people. It really does. And it's just something that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I'm currently behind like $7,000 roughly. Court ordered to pay about $593 each month. And under normal circumstances, that might be possible, but recently for me, that has not been possible. And so, yeah, I am needing all the prayers that y'all can give me, any support y'all can show. I really appreciate it. Drop your comments. Let me know what y'all think of this. Seriously, if you think it's perfectly justified and like, you deserve to have your license submitted, you know, you should tell me. Let me know, because I'm not seeing like the logic in the whole thing. I mean, it has me kind of upset, but I know there's nothing I can do right now. And I will say, this is in Georgia. To the system's, you know, credit, I guess, there are programs someone like me can enter to prevent this. There's the Fatherhood program, which is essentially a 3-month program where you get paired up with an accountability specialist, and they call you just to encourage you to make your payments and making sure you're trying to find employment. And, you know, when you're in those programs, they're usually not going to suspend your license. license. I'm actually waiting to get into this other program right now so that my license will be protected hopefully for 2 years. Wish me luck. And yeah, we're gonna keep trucking along. This is a perfect example of something that, can set someone back mentally, financially. We've all got different things. For you, it might be a medical bill. For you, it might be whatever. And I just want to say that I hear you. I feel you. Life is expensive. Honestly, it's really expensive. So that's all I've got, my friends. Love you guys again, but I will see y'all in the next one.